Hi, everybody. My name is Rupinder Singh Sidhu. Most people know me as Rup, and I am honored to be gathered here with you all on the traditional and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. And just to start off, I really wanted to state that. And secondly, I would like to point out that there is a very important thing that goes.
Give us freedom, justice, equality. Living up in the face of this hypocrisy. Too many in this world lost in poverty. Picking it up for the people whose rock is heavy. Peace and blessings to the people in needy. Food and water still a struggle for many. We all live in this world of plenty. Privilege on the life, giving thanks on the daily. Free these minds so our eyes are blind. Combine blind that we all can shine. Heart broken open, where is the time? Shaking apart the system so we all can climb. So let's go, let's go, everybody rock the boat. Time to grow, push and pull, move it in and out of soul. Take control, break the mold, raise it for a high goal. Young and old, be the bold, for the future foe.
All right, good people. Now, one thing I love doing is making music with people. So we're going to take this half of the room. You will be one half. This half, you're the other half. Let's break this down a little bit more. So over here we go. 2, 3, 4, and clap. Tight, keep that going. Nice, nice. Ran through Collingwood, holding it down. This side, let's make it a little bit more complicated. Nice, keep that going. This side. Nice, keep that going. All right, this side. Keep it going. Just you. All right, let's speed it up. Thank you. It's a cheap way to get my first round of applause, but I'll take it. So, this wonderful thing called music came into my life really late. I was about 19 before I picked up my first instrument. And as soon as I picked up that first instrument, something inside of me got shaken and awoken alive, to the point now where most everything I do in the world involves music. I'm either performing or teaching music, and I feel so blessed and so honored for the life that I get to lead. Now, music not only changed what I did in the world, it started to really shift my perspective on how I would start to see the universe. And I wrote a little poem about it. I'm going to share that with you right about now. transcends. It bends reality into patterns to perceive. The beat transcends, lends itself to a Big Bang theory. Because once the beat starts, it just don't stop. You can break it down to molecules vibrating, or pick it up to galaxies spinning. The beat is ever present, mapping movement of blood to the hands to the skin of a drum. I let the rhythm become the center. Enter time. Tick-tock, the rhythm defined, on a line to mark past and future in the present. We see 60 beats to form a minute, 60 over 60 to create an hour, and 24 of those to create one day. Now 28 days takes us to the full cycle of the moon, and 13 moons beats the right tune for one revolution of the earth. Now, what's the heartbeat of that child that was just given birth? The beat transcends. So, music. I want to talk particularly about hip-hop and how that came into my life. Now, at a young age, I had all sorts of confused thoughts and different things going on inside of my head, and I could make really little sense of our, well, frankly, messed up world. And so I started to throw words down on a page. And those words eventually formed into poetry, into spoken word, and into raps. And what that really let me do was throw these ideas onto the page, mix them and put them together and get a cohesive message that I could bring to the rest of the world. And this helped me through, your average teenage depression because of the state of the world, but it also let me start to clearly articulate what I felt about the world and where I saw the world going and where I wanted it to go. So I started to use it to really critique the world as well. And so I want to share a spoken word piece that I wrote about that. Hey, big brother, little sister's been watching, and she thinks you should be ashamed of this blood for oil game. I'm speaking in my grandfather's names and ancestry and pain because your actions have been in vain of a dream that came before you that seemed to have skipped over you to little sister, who's been playing hopscotch and expanding that dream. You see, she's got thoughts of health and education, hoping a think tank can become something that we all swim in. And on an empty belly, she's praying for food for others. What do you think about that, big brother? Will you pull the cover thick over your eyes, wear a liberal disguise, or will you begin to recognize these times are in need of change? Little sister's been played, and she just can't do it again. The way this world is weaved only to deal with economy is blasphemy. We see on U.S. currency "In God we trust." Well, God just became an acronym for gold, oil, and drugs. And little sister wonders, why not organic plums? Because then we would learn to ripen the vine instead of strip mine, drilling holes to find water instead of wealth. Big brother, we would love to live a life in health. But you seem predestined to poison your people. These cracking cocaine proportions are not equal. Injection for the ghetto is put on lethal, and we don't need to see a sequel to the evil that men do, because little sister sees it working through you. Every day she hears another tale set to impale basic human rights: water, food, shelter, what we all need. But these wants, taunt, and tainted SUV visions have waters across this world running crimson. Now, I can't stand up here and claim to have all the answers, but little sister, she sure got a lot of questions. Thank you. Now, you will notice that I have a Sonic there. We've covered that part. Let's go to Seva. Now, Seva, if you haven't heard of it, is an Indian philosophy of service. And this was a philosophy that I didn't really understand until I really was able to find my own voice. And music really helped me with that. And I saw this growing up as a kid, because I grew up Sikh. And so in the langar halls at the Gurdwara, people were donating their time to cook food for the community. And then I saw it in my own family as well. When my mom passed away when I was 4 from cancer, my 2 aunts from India, without hesitation, moved over and helped raise my dad's 4 children. 4 boys, too. A little bit of a handful. My dad, an immigrant to these lands, worked more than full-time in a coal mine to put himself through school to feed us, and with hopes of our education being grown and our lives growing on this land as well. And so this idea of seva really started linking into me, and I started to think, how can I take my passions and give them a purpose? And that's when I started working with young people as well. And I found that I really wanted to use hip-hop because it had done such amazing things for me as an individual that I wanted to bring that to the world as well. And so I got together with a few friends, and this is when I want to give them shouts out, who really helped with the beginning of this work. And we formed a group called Metaphor. And so I want to give a shout out to Sarah Kendall, Nadia Cheney, and Mike Sheehan for the beginnings of that. And what we did is we started doing hip-hop literacy work in the local youth prison. And within the first 2 years of our program, the workers there said we were the most effective program that they'd seen in over 20 years at reaching the kids and getting their thoughts out about the world. And the reason was simply this, that we met them where they were at. In our programs, we set up the space with a few simple agreements. 1, let's lift each other up. We have a world full of negativity around us. In this temporary space that we carry together, let's lift each other up. 2nd, let's try some new things, because without that, we don't grow. And then we'd usually just throw it to the room and see what they needed to be safe, because who knows better than them? Which is an amazing idea in education in and of itself. And so, years later, a couple of the Metaphor artists, along with Melanie Schambach, teamed up with Mark Vinesh from Real Youth. And we created a video with some of the young girls in the local youth prison. And I'll show it to you in a second, but I was really struggling on showing this to you. Reason being is because I don't want these girls just to be girls that I work with. I want you to understand that they have a whole, full life of their own. So with that, I give you this amazing piece of youth voice.
Thought you were my friend, you're my demon and addiction. I'm making amends, cause I'm free from your affliction. Now I'm walking out of the blue and into the light, from cold, careless, lost, deaf, too warm, careful, found in rest. Different, rejected, stereotyped by my own life. Controlled by rage, curious, confused, betrayed. Despised and hate and despise. Not able to see through another's eyes. Now I'm shining in the skies, I tell you no lies. I'm free to walk through any door. Learn how to live without my rage. Learn to adapt, I break the chains. Behind every anger there's a pain. Behind every pain there's a shame. Blame who's to blame, got nothing to gain. I'ma stop this pain and ignite my flame. Behind every anger there's a pain. Behind every pain there's a shame. Blame who's to blame, got nothing to gain. I'ma stop this rain and ignite my flame.
Coming from a broken home, running up alone in a world so cold, growing old. Only in my teens, but to live with the fiends, doing all these schemes and losing all my dreams. Nobody knows where I come from. Only had a home to run from. On the block selling rock, didn't want to get caught. Freedom, I didn't have a lot.
How they diss me, tell me that I'm ugly, hurt me verbally, abuse me physically. I've come to realize that everything they said was lies. I know inside that I'm the grand prize. Through their tough front. I see that they're scared, hear the pain in the voices of what they never shared. I'm equal to a man, no control, I am free. I can get through this, I am strong, I am me.
Behind every anger, there's a pain. Behind every pain, there's a pain. And who's to blame? Got nothing to gain. I'ma stop this pain and ignite my flame. Behind every anger, there's a pain. Behind every pain, there's a pain. And who's to blame? Got nothing to gain. I'ma stop this pain and ignite my flame.
What was his excuse for the sexual abuse? She was such a little girl coming into his world. Then it got worse, maybe a curse. She grew up. What came first was a shame. Drugs came, crack, cocaine. 12 years old on the street, having nothing to eat, getting beat, looking for a place to sleep. Now she's in jail, she ain't getting no bail. She's looking for a new tale. I gotta change, it's time to engage. Leslie and Dick, I'm doing this for you. P.S. I love you.
Behind every anger, there's a pain. Behind every pain, there's a pain. And who's to blame? I got nothing to gain. I'll stop this rain and ignite my flame. Behind every anger, there's a pain. Behind every pain, there's a pain. And who's to blame? I got nothing to gain. I'll stop this rain and ignite my flame.
Girl, you're worthy of everything good. If you're thinking of leaving, you probably should. It's not love if it involves violence. Use your voice, break the silence. Respect yourself, don't let them ruin you. Take it from me, cause I've been through it too. Always forgive, but never forget. Live your life with no regrets.
So we see in 4 days, they shot that video, wrote the music, the lyrics, performed, and recorded them. And to me, it was really about the space that we set as a group, including them, not just us as mentors, but they were there. They had full buy-in in lifting each other up. They were incredible together. In fact, one of the girls got out about 2 days into the production, and she called home and called her probation officer to see if she could stay in prison. We sent her home. So to me, music, really any form of creativity, is an amazing way to carry stories. And that's fundamentally, I think, what we're doing with these programs, is helping space open up for people's stories to be told and for them to be heard and shared. Now, I really love music in all its aspects. One thing I also really love is improv and being in the moment. I look down at my clock and I see a minute left. And I see you all, and I go, Can everybody stand up, please? And come forward. Yeah, just move forward. Make it quick. I don't have long here. This side, right here. Here's what you're gonna do, okay? Let's pull some music out of the air somewhere. Oh yeah, here we go. Supposedly I say too many ums and ahs. I want to turn that into music. Okay, here we go. Everybody over here. Let's hear this. That's just our vocal warm-up. This side, we're gonna go like this. Doom, ch, doom, ch, doom, ch, doom, ch, doom, ch. Keep it going. Middle. We're gonna make you, let's see. Tum tum tero, tum tum tero. Over here, my human loopers, I love it. Tuereto, tuereto, tuereto. Louder, people! Thanks, everybody.